This video is brought to you by AztecaSoccer.com, your one-stop shop for all the latest and greatest soccer gear. Be sure to use coupon code SR4U at checkout to receive 10% off any order of $75 or more. Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you an unboxing plus on-feet video of the brand new Nike Elastico Superfly Turf in the latest Midnight Fog and Volt colorway. Now inside the box they do include a string bag to go along with the shoes themselves. The string bag is black in color with Volt strings, features a white Nike swoosh on the front, and your white Nike football branding on the back. So we'll get that out of the way. And other than that, all you're going to find inside the box are, of course, the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box, and we'll take a closer look at what is essentially the relaunch of the Elastico Superfly. So this is one of two colorways that is now available at the $150 retail price. We have the Midnight Fog as well as the Laser Orange colorway. And unlike the original Elastico Superfly, this one was made in much larger quantities, so it's a lot less limited, as well as is available in indoor as well as turf variations. In today's video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the turf variation with coverage on the indoor model coming very, very soon, so stay tuned for that. As well as in today's video, we're going to talk about what all the major differences are in comparison to the standard firm ground, soft ground, and AG Superfly, as well as the original Elastico Superfly that released months ago. So if you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself, there will be a link down below in the description to the review page of my website, where you will find buy it now links with all the best prices online, including exclusive SR4U coupon codes that allow you to pick these up below their $150 retail price. So again, that link is down below in the description if you're interested in a pair below their retail price. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. To start things off, let's talk about the colorway and new visual styling of the Elastico Superfly. Now, of course, one of the most noticeable changes is the actual looks of the shoe. Normally, the Nike swoosh on a Superfly would be positioned in the forefoot area of the shoe with a very small Nike swoosh on the medial side. With the new Elastico Superfly, you can see they've completely repositioned the swoosh, being in the midfoot area of the shoe, and it's a full-size Nike swoosh on both sides of the upper, as you can see. On this colorway, it's Volt yellow and black with this new camo pattern there on the inside, which to me looks really, really good with the rest of the shoe. And you're also going to find that same camo pattern in this strip that kind of runs along the very back of the shoe. Normally this would just be the same color as the shoe itself and then feature Mercurial branding at the top, but here it's actually made from a silver and black 3M reflective material, and of course features that same camo pattern that you actually find in the Nike swoosh itself. So another signature touch that you're only going to find on the new Elastico Superfly colorways. Now, as far as the upper is concerned, of course it is a Flyknit upper. You can see the Flyknit material itself is a combination of that Midnight Fog color, which is kind of like an olive green, as well as Volt yellow. So definitely two high contrast colors. Really is noticeable that this is a knitted shoe, especially from a distance. It just gives it a very, very unique look. And I actually quite like this colorway. Leave your opinions on it down below in the comment section. Black laces, as you guys can see. And then as far as the Nike skin layering on the outside is concerned, you can see some of it is translucent, mainly around the midfoot and heel area of the shoe, where it gets a little bit darker. That is the area that's covered in Nike skin. Whereas right here in the forefoot, as well as on the medial side, you can see there's actually a solid kind of Midnight Fog olive green color, and that's because there's actually an extra layer of Nike skin in this area of the shoe, mainly because if you're playing on turf, if you're playing on an indoor court playing surface, it tends to be a little bit more abrasive and harder on your shoes. So they added that extra layer and gave it a slightly different look, not only to give it a visual distinction from the standard Superfly models, but also to increase the overall durability of the shoe. So it's definitely an interesting look overall. Some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. I'd be curious to hear your opinions down below in the comment section. To me, I don't mind how it looks, and if it increases the durability of the shoe, again, I really don't have anything to complain about. As far as the midsole is concerned, you can see it's that same Midnight Fog kind of olive green color, and it features those little kind of camo patches that you're going to find in the Nike swoosh itself, just as a little extra design element. And then this is the turf variation bottom, so you have a combination of Volt yellow, a slightly darker green color, and then white. So it kind of has that foot mapping pattern on the base of the sole, with of course your turf little nubs or studs, whatever you want to call those, and then one more black Nike swoosh right there in the midfoot. So that's pretty much it as far as the visual styling of the shoe is concerned. Definitely a very interesting colorway. This one in particular particular, to me, really shows off the Flyknit design of the shoe itself. But again, leave your opinions on this colorway down below in the comment section. Do you like the Midnight Fog one, or do you prefer the laser orange colorway of the new Elastico Superfly releases? As far as the performance and overall construction of the new relaunched Elastico Superfly is concerned, there are some minor differences from a standard Superfly 4 as well as the original Elastico Superfly that we're going to talk about right now. Now, while there are differences, I will mention that they are very, very small, and I don't think will have much of an impact on the overall performance and the feel that the shoe is going to offer. Now, starting off with the upper, of course, I have the new Elastico Superfly and the old one right here. In terms of the construction of the upper, not much has changed. It's still a one-piece Flyknit upper, the stretchy area through the midfoot, and of course a dynamic fit collar, also being relatively stretchy. It offers a one-to-one experience when you're wearing the shoe, where it essentially feels like an extension of your body as opposed to a pair of shoes on your feet. It's a really unique sensation that you can really only get from the Superfly 4, and if you're looking for something like that in an indoor or turf variation, the Elastico Superfly is really going to be your only option. It's thin but doesn't lack that slight amount of padding. It does have that same internal support cage fused to the inside like you're going to find on the standard Superfly 4, which I can't really show you guys. And then of course, acting as that extra bit of support, not only is the Flyknit material more structured in the main foot area of the shoe, you're also going to find your Brio cables that run from the base of the sole directly into the lacing system. So when you pull the laces tight, it really hugs your foot and locks it in place. As far as touch is concerned, like I said, it is on the thinner side, but doesn't lack that very slight amount of padding. But for the most part, it does definitely provide more of a barefoot sensation when making touches on the ball. And then in order to have proper grip, they have included a Nike skin layer on the outside. Now, if you look at the original Elastico Superfly, they essentially just took the standard Superfly 4 upper with the entire Nike skin kind of covering the majority of the upper, and then of course the ACC technology, and put it on an indoor bottom. With the new Elastico Superfly, regardless of whether you get the turf or indoor variation, you're getting a slightly different upper construction, if you will. Now again, same Flyknit base, same Flyknit construction, nothing changes there. The changes come in the actual Nike skin itself. You can see that there is no Nike skin right here above the actual Nike swoosh where it normally would be covered right there, and that is both on the lateral and medial side. This is a very minor thing, not necessarily something I think you're going to notice all that much when using this shoe, and again, it's kind of an unnecessary thing if you are going to be using these indoors, either on a turf or a hard indoor court playing surface. So again, no big deal there, but definitely something that I noticed pretty much right away. In the forefoot area, again, you do have that same Nike skin. It's clear here. And then in the toe area, as you guys can see, where it's Midnight Fog, solid in color, covering up that Flyknit, it is still a Nike skin layer. It's just an extra layer. So again, like I mentioned, it's there for durability reasons because you're going to be playing on turf or on an indoor court. They wanted to add that extra layer of Nike skin just for durability reasons to increase the overall lifespan of the shoe, make it a little bit stronger. And again, it adds very little thickness, very little kind of rigidity to the upper. It's very, very soft and flexible as it is. But again, definitely a difference in comparison to the standard Superfly 4, as well as in comparison to the original Elastico Superfly. Other than that, it's got pretty much the same lacing system, exactly the same lacing system, the same dynamic fit collar, the same heel liner. The insole has changed a little bit. The standard Elastico Superfly, or the original, featured pretty much a standard Mercurial Superfly 4 insole, whereas this time around you're getting a solid insole, no perforations at all, mesh liner on top, and it's made from a single layer of kind of this ortho-like material. It's got a good thickness to it and a good nice sponginess. So in terms of step-in comfort, I would say it's actually a nice improvement over what we got with the original Elastico Superfly. And then as far as the midsole is concerned, nothing has really changed here. It's a Phylon or some type of a foam midsole, kind of in the heel as well as in the midfoot area, just to give you that little bit of extra cushioning. And then of course, this is the new turf variation for the Elastico Superfly. So this is designed to be used on turf, which is kind of like that rough carpet material, or even on artificial grass. It is a relatively aggressive turf stud variation that I've seen on a turf model overall, so probably not one you would want to use on an indoor court just because you're not going to get too much traction out of it. But these little nubs, as you guys can see, they are fairly long. They protrude pretty far off the base of the sole here, and they're fairly narrow in profile. So in terms of traction and grip, I'm expecting to get some really good grip out of this particular turf outsole. So again, if you're interested in something like the AG Superfly 4, which is going to run you about $275 US, something like the Elastico Superfly in turf is only going to cost about $150, even a little bit less if you use the SR4U coupon codes. Again, that link is down below in the description, and you can have yourself a pair of Superfly 4s that are going to perform very similarly with the turf outsole variation. So that is pretty much it as far as all the performance features and what you need to know about the Elastico Superfly. And next we'll move on to a quick weigh-in so you can see how lightweight these guys are. In terms of weight, it shouldn't come as much of a surprise that the turf version of the Elastico Superfly is going to weigh a little bit more than a standard firm ground Superfly 4. Now in a size 9 US, a firm ground Superfly 4 weighs in at around 7 to 7.4 ounces from what I've seen and what I've weighed in myself. Now I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. We're going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 8.8 ounces in the exact same size. So there's almost a full ounce and a half of extra weight on the turf version of the Elastico Superfly versus the standard firm ground Superfly 4. Is this a significant difference? Yes and no. In hand, yes, there definitely is a difference in weight that you will notice. But when the shoes are on your feet, they fit so well and have such a natural feel overall that you really don't notice that you're wearing shoes at all, even at the 8.8 ounce weight range. So overall, it's not as light as a standard Superfly 4 would be. But again, this is designed for turf. So all of that extra weight is in the actual rubber outsole, which is really heavy duty and designed to be as durable as possible. None of the extra weight is in the upper, so please keep that in mind. So with that being said, it is a lightweight shoe. It's not going to weigh you down. And if weight is something you're concerned about, I really wouldn't worry too much about what you're getting from the Elastico Superfly in either the indoor or turf variations. Alright, here's a look at the Elastico Superflies on feet. And in terms of how these things fit and feel, it's definitely very similar to that of a standard Superfly 4. Obviously, the sole is not made from carbon fiber, so for that reason, it does seem to be a little bit more flexible, especially in the forefoot and toe area of the shoe, just because it's rubber as opposed to actual carbon fiber. But overall, it's still, like I said, a very similar sensation. If you haven't worn a mid-cut Flyknit model from Nike yet, it will feel a little bit strange at first, but if you're coming from a standard Superfly 4 and you want an indoor or turf variation, you're going to feel right at home with the Elastico Superfly. The extra Nike skin on the upper doesn't take away from the softness or natural flexibility that you get from this Flyknit material, and overall it just has a very natural sensation once you get used to how these things feel. A lot of questions always about the mid-cut design. It's not something that gets in the way. It's something you'll notice a little bit at first, but once you get used to it again, it just makes for a very natural feel to the shoe. It becomes an extension of your body as opposed to shoes on your feet. And in terms of restricting flexibility at the ankle, it's just not an issue you're going to have. In terms of the fit, it is a Mercurial Superfly, and because of that, it is a tighter fitting shoe overall. Very similar width-wise to that of a standard Superfly 4. So again, if you fit in the standard Superfly, you're going to fit in these. But if you have really wide feet, it's probably best to stay away because it is a Mercurial model at the end of the day, which means that it is going to have a tighter fit, and that it definitely does. As far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size for the best possible fit. Alright guys, that's it for my unboxing of the Turf Elastico Superfly from Nike. Definitely a very interesting release. I know a lot of you guys have been anticipating a re-release of an indoor as well as a new turf variation of the Superfly 4, and at the $150 price point, considering that the firm ground, soft ground, and AG version cost $275 plus in the US, I think that $150 for an indoor or turf Elastico Superfly is honestly pretty reasonable. So again, if you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself, check out the review page on my website, linked down below in the description of this video. On that review page, you'll find the high quality images that I took myself to give you a better idea as to how these actually do look in person, as well as buy it now links with the best prices online, including exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you can pick these up below their $150 retail price. Also leave links down below in the description to the indoor version of the Elastico Superfly as well, if you're more interested in that variation. As far as my full written review is concerned, I'm going to follow up with that hopefully within the next couple of weeks once I get an opportunity to try these out on some turf playing surfaces. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to support it with a like. If you have any questions at all or any suggestions, be sure to leave those down below in the comment section, and I definitely will get an answer out to you. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.